Cheerio, Fossum once again, continuing our excerpts from the Blow the Bolts audio series. You know, I believe that the bolt that holds more people back from their hopes and dreams than any of the others is excuses. That's right. I believe this is the worst one of all, the most powerful one of all. And why is that? Because we give them the power. We actually believe that our excuses are true. We think that circumstances really did get in the way of us achieving our goal. We really believe that we didn't have time. Excuses are masters at making us believe that something that just isn't true really is. They're fantastic at that. You know what the CIA calls that? Brainwashing. That's right, brainwashing. We believe something is true that really isn't. We actually believe that people or circumstances can keep us from achieving our goals and dreams. I just couldn't get to making that call today. Yeah, you could. You avoided it. And you chose to do other things instead, like check your email or floss your cat or I don't know. Or the economy is turning bad, but there's nothing I can do about that. My kid got sick. My car wouldn't start. The list goes on and on and on and on. Can you relate to any of this? Brainwashing. I mean, truly it is. They don't really have the power over us. We can always figure out a way around them. These things can't hold us back unless we let them. And if you're sitting there going, well, yeah, sometimes things do get in the way, then guess what? You've been brainwashed too. You know, I joke about this, but the serious truth is, until you reverse that thinking, you are never going to reach your goals and dreams, because things will continue to get in the way, continue to get in the way. But get this is important. Success doesn't care what your excuse is. Isn't that right? Success doesn't care what your excuse is. Let me say that again, and if you're able to, I want you to write this down. I really do. Success doesn't care what your excuse is. The bottom line is the bottom line. Did you get the job done? I'm going to ask you to write this one down as well. There are two things, results or excuses. Don't fool yourself. If it's not a result, it's merely an excuse. Let me say that again. There are two things, results or excuses. Don't fool yourself. If it's not a result, it's merely an excuse. That's important to really internalize. Now, I know it might sound like a little bit of tough love, but that's why you're watching this video right now, right? You don't want me to go, well, it's all right, just don't feel bad, okay? Just dream about unicorns and bunnies and it'll be okay. Other people will do that for you. That's not me. You want me to tell you the truth. You want me to help you actually achieve those goals. You've tried before, and it may not have worked out the way you wanted it to, and you want to know why. More importantly, you want to do something about it, right? You know, this hit me really hard as I built my direct sales business because I kept setting goals and not reaching them. I set goals and not reaching them. I set goals. It hurt. It really did. And I'd attend some seminar, you know, and I'd get really pumped up. I was really going to do great things. You bet I'm going to be up there. And before I knew it, I found myself right back to where I was, missing yet another goal. I honestly stopped making goals. I stopped because I knew I wouldn't reach them anyway. Truth. Have you ever felt that way? So I decided to try something different. First step. Okay, here we go. I wanted people to help me stick to my goals. So I'd get on a conference call every morning at 6 a.m., an accountability call, 6 a.m. every single morning with 3 other people. And we'd tell what our goals were for the day and how we did on our goals yesterday. Now, I believe it's extremely helpful having someone keep you accountable. It really is. That's what this was supposed to be. Except it wasn't. It wasn't actually an accountability call. It was an excuse support group. That's right, an excuse support group. Hello, my name is Terry Fossum, and I'm an excuseaholic. Hi, Terry. That's what it basically ended up being. But you see, an excuse support group wasn't what I wanted. It's not what I needed. I wanted people to tell me when I was lying to myself, making excuses, and help keep me on track. I mean, I had the best excuse in the world. See, when I started my business, I was still a captain in the Air Force. In fact, I was an executive officer for an entire group of nuclear B-52 aircraft during the Cold War. Now, that was a seriously intense job. I didn't have time to eat. I didn't have time to sleep. I didn't have time to pee, all right? In fact, the top middle desk drawer of any XO, you will certainly, without question, find a very large bottle of aspirin and a bottle of Mylanta. No spoons. We don't have time to measure. You just take a swig and try to relieve the stress that's eating away at your stomach, and you keep moving very quickly. That's the way life was. If I was going to build my clientele, it'd have to be on a few minutes a day. You know, this excuse that a lot of us use, well, I just don't have, I don't want to get started until I know I can do it right. Ever done that one? Ever heard that one? Bull, all right, bull. You do it no matter what. That's just an excuse. I had a few minutes a day. I realized it wasn't the prime way to do it, but at least I could get started. And some momentum's better than no momentum. So I leveraged my time. I used videos that the company would produce. And I would say that I set my goal of handing out 3 videos a day, but that's not exactly accurate. See, I viewed a goal as something I would try to do. That wasn't good enough. I needed to set something I would absolutely do, no matter what. So I didn't call it a goal. I called it, get this, an absolute. My absolute was to absolutely hand out 3 videos every single day. No more, no less. 3 videos every single day, no matter what. And that's exactly what I told my excuse support group. Today, my absolute is to hand out 3 videos a day to 3 brand new people. But here's the problem. There would be times where it was 10 o'clock at night. I'm still working. I'm exhausted, man. I can barely keep my head up. So I better go home, get a few hours sleep so I can do it all over again the next day. I'd reach down to grab my bag, and my worst nightmare would be there. Bum, 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 a video. I hadn't handed out all 3 videos. So the brainwashing would immediately set in. I could easily make valid excuses, as if there were such a thing. Hey, most days I placed 3, okay? With my schedule, if I missed every once in a while, people would certainly understand, right? No, brainwashing. See, the problem is, it doesn't matter what most people think. It matters whether or not I reach my goals, my absolutes, if I stick to my plan. People, especially those who are close to you, will empathize with you, and they'll often support your decisions, even if they're not the best decisions for the long run. And you know why? Because they're brainwashed too. They're excuseaholics. Most people are, or more people would reach their goals. Let's face it. And again, you want me to be honest with you here. Sorry if I'm hurting any feelings, y'all, but this is the truth, and that's what you want from me. So another option would be, well, I'll make up for it tomorrow, right? Instead of placing 3 videos tomorrow, I'll place 4. That would still average out to my goal, my absolute, of 3 per day. No, that's not the plan. Listen, if I slack today, I'm more likely to slack tomorrow. Some other excuse will get in the way. Some other piece of life will get in the way. Something will happen. And then 2 videos would be the norm. And then 1. And before I know it, I've decided I'm just too busy to start a business at this time. I'll wait till the timing is better. And I quit. And then I go from being brainwashed to brain dead. From excuseaholic to yet another casualty on the road to success. So no matter what time it was, or how tired I was, or what excuse I could come up with, I would get on the phone or go around until I found somebody to give that last video to. I stuck to my plan. I stuck to my absolutes. So when I got on the phone every morning with my excuse support group, I would announce that I'd reached my absolutes again. Listen, I ended up building teams around the globe and making a lot of money. And get this, the other 3 people on the phone, they believed in their excuses. They were validated by others who were on the phone too, who believed in theirs. And do you know who they are? Not to be unkind, but neither is anybody else. I mean, they're wonderful people, they're dear people. The people close to them know exactly who they are, you betcha. But the rest of the world doesn't. There's always a way. It merely becomes our job to find that way. Let me say that again. There's always a way. There's always a way. It merely becomes our job to find that way. So let me ask you, what excuses have been holding you back? Let's do it. Let's get down to it. Has it been, I just don't have time right now? That's a big one, boy. That's a big one. We have busy lives. Well, if you really dig into it, you can carve out the time. I did. Or how about, you know what, when it's a better, I'll get to it when it's a better time. I don't want to start until I know I can do it right. Can't tell you how many times I've heard that one. The only right time to start is right now. There's no doubt about it. Again, some momentum's better than none. If you're staying in place, you're more likely to stay in place forever. If you're moving at least a little bit, you're more likely to move. How about another one? I'd love to, but I just don't have the money. Do you really not have the money? Or are there other things, maybe like coffee, cigarettes, or other things you're spending money on you don't really have to? Or one of my favorites, I don't even know how to start. Then find out how to start. There's always a way. It merely becomes our job to find that way. So get over the brainwashing. Set your absolutes. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead from one of my other recordings. And go out there and go get them.